What up, it's your boy Stefan with the Master of Me podcast. Master of Me? Hey, my man. What do you mean master? How do you become master of anything? You tell me. You focus all of your energy on one thing. One thing, man.
Man, oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Joseph Witzke. Let me tell you about Joseph here. I attracted Joseph into my life. I believe that wholeheartedly. And they say that you attract what you put out. And the things that Joseph has in his life, based off what I can see, and the conversations, deep conversations, his work ethic, his workout ethic, all those things bleed through a person that you know, game recognize game, when you know a person has become that person based off the cards they got dealt with in life, and they've chose to make different decisions and create something for themselves. And my testimony, Joseph's testimony on life in general and building and always growing to get better and making a new choice. Because at the end of the day, life ain't easy, but at the same time, we're tough. With that being said, I'm going to start off a conversation with Joseph. What's up, man?
Hey, man, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you. I appreciate your words, and it's the same thing. It's right back at you. I love your positivity.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing, I'm a dad.
Right.
And so when I see other dads,
Right.
just like you just have like an affection for them because
Right.
you know, like you said, you know, like if you see something, if you see someone that has something you want, you kind of know what it's taken for them to have it. And to see someone maintain a family and have a family, and like that's so beautiful.
Right.
To me. So it's like something I want to be around.
Right.
And it's, you know, you have to be around what you want to be.
100%. That's deep. I think that's important, right, of where you're hanging out with it. You have these gifts, you have these wants, these desires, but at the same time, people may not be seeing them because you're hanging around the wrong people. Or you just might be in the wrong fishbowl at that time, and it's not valued the same. But it doesn't mean that your heart's wrong. It just means that you got to keep swimming. You got to keep finding the right path, the right people that are going to connect you, because you keep sharing that energy, it's going to reciprocate. And what I love about it the most, man, is I watch you like push yourself in the gym. And that's an area that I struggle on as far as the discipline aspect of it and maintaining what it takes to get to the waistline that I want. Like, there's this bullshit excuses that I have in my mind that I have to be like heavy and thick to be strong. At the same time, I run across people like you who can be lean, mean, and strong and put up weight. And it's like, man, like, it's an inspiration to know that, like, everything I believed, it causes me to question it. And it's like, man, like, I really have to reframe what I'm doing, that I can have both. I can eat healthy. I can also cut weight at the same time. And I don't need the extra weight to be strong. I can be strong with the body that I want. And I think it's having that, like, mindset that I can be strong, have the body together, not it's one or the other. That's the problem. It's like I'm seeing it as like one or the other. And same can fall into like how you do anything is how you do everything, like with people, with relationships, and like, especially when we talk about money, right? Like, can you be rich and have a happy family? You know what I'm saying? Can you be successful and still be intentional with your kids and your spouse and the people that depend on you? A lot of times people get lost somewhere, and that's where things, being able to see that you can have them both, but being around people that do them, like that have them both, I think is the key. So when you start talking about it, like it opened me up to like making sure that there's abundant people around me that can do both. And seeing you has opened me up to like making sure that I'm eating healthy, and it's taken a while to like get there. And
You got the rest of your life.
100%.
I would say, like, for me, humility came with recognize my stupidity.
Right.
Right. Like, I had to, same thing. I went to this gym, and there was these scrawny guys, and I went in there with such an ego. And, you know, these guys were, like, throwing, like, 225 over their head, and I think I was at, like, 95 pounds.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
You know? But it just takes, like, that time and that effort of just, you know, I know what the cost is of not maintaining rigorous discipline in certain areas. Like, I know the cost.
Right.
You know, because what got me here was not a good time.
Right.
You know, like, one day I woke up and I couldn't really walk no more. Like I had, like my 30s were robbed in back pain.
That's
like
crazy.
I got robbed. Like I got 31, it happened. You know, I have scoliosis and my sciatic nerve went really far in there, and I have, they say, degenerative disc, and it was life changing. You know, I was in the top 50 in real estate. I was killing it in so many ways, and I always thought the money was gonna come, and it was always gonna be good times. And then one day it wasn't. And you know, you get to 2 months and 6 months, a year, and then it logs out, and you just get to a point. Like I was actually thinking about this the other day. There was a point like 5 years ago where I didn't really know how I was gonna go on, even though I was still maintaining fitness. Like I was doing it in the face of pain. And I remember, I think back to it, because my back pain is completely gone now. I have zero pain, and I was never under a 6 or a 7, ever, in those 9 years. And one day, like, obviously it came through a lot of personal work and some realizations of some stuff that I was hanging on to and who I was. But man, it's so crazy to have this physical freedom now.
Right.
I can't believe like that I have the ability to do the things that I'm doing now. And like I sometimes wonder, I'm like, where did the pain go? It became such a part of me, became such a part of my story, right? And I don't know if that was becoming an excuse to the hard work of being who I needed to know I needed to be. But it was mind-numbing pain. I mean, it took everything from me. It took my whole will to live at some point. And eventually I was just like, I can't do this no more.
Right.
And how I got there was not a good time.
Right.
You know, it was not a good time.
It's such a crazy trip that you got to get your back against the wall. And in your case, literally, like it's life or death. It feels like just hearing it, it sounds like, I mean, to have pain over a 7 on a constant basis, like that's when the doctor asks you, like, what's your pain at? And you're like, oh, it's a 4. Like, it hurts, but you're not about to die. But like 7's up there of like, man, this is like taking over my life. And I know the times that I've hurt my back, it has consumed my mind, and I have such negative thoughts. So I can like feel with you right now of what your mindset is like when you constantly have this thing taking over everything in front of you. Defeated. And those are 30s are like, I mean, those are times that you have your working years, really, like that you can crush it and double down and start prepping yourself for how the rest is. I mean, luckily, you're passed through it.
Yeah.
Luckily, like
it's crazy, but it just came to a point because I knew like surgery had like less than a 17% success rate.
That's
I
crazy.
Knew, like I knew surgery just didn't make sense, right? And I'm stubborn too.
Right.
I'm really stubborn, so I don't know sometimes if that's a good thing or a bad thing. My exes will definitely tell you it's not a good thing, but it's an attribute that I have. And I was just in a situation one day, and I was in the shower, and I looked down at my stomach, and I think my ex told me that I looked like I was 6 months pregnant all the time. And I'm like, why would you never tell me? You're just let me live like this?
Yeah.
But I just looked at my stomach one day, and I was like, I have to get control of my core. And it's been a long time of understanding myself. It's been a real journey of just understanding myself. Like, that's what this all comes down to, is just with your work, with your family, with everything. It's all a reflection or a mirror of understanding yourself, right? Because you have to understand yourself when your kids are being kids, or when your partner is at you, and you have to understand yourself in those situations.
I think when you say understanding yourself, for me, where it resonates is there's times where I'll tell myself that it's okay to have these cookies. Like right now we're in Girl Scout season, right? And there's cookies floating around. And you're supporting your peers and people. You know, it's small as cookies, but at the same time, I tell myself that I've earned it. I kicked butt today. Like, I deserve this. I'm just eat them. I only live once. I'll start that path. But then at the same time, like, I'm forgetting I have goals, I have a vision, and I know that this is one small step in a different direction than the direction that I want to go into. And if life's about putting one foot in front of the other, every time I do that, I take a step outside of where I want to go. And I'm human. I get that at the same time.
But also recognize you're doing more right than you are wrong.
Right. 100%.
And that's the thing I think
that.
people get tripped up on, because like, you got to enjoy it.
Right.
You have to enjoy it. People are like, what should I do with fitness? I'm like, enjoy it.
Right.
Like, whatever you're going to start with that you enjoy, because if you don't enjoy it, then you're not going to do it, right?
Right.
So it's just going to be like, okay, like, where do you like? If you like cookies and you enjoyed the cookie, like, you earn the cookie.
Right.
but don't like
Make sure you earn it.
Yeah, don't resent
Right.
the situation, and then it starts playing in other areas of your life.
I guess what I'm getting at too is that I'll find resentment in a different, like resisting the body that I want, or the discipline that I know that it takes. Like I want to rebel because I'm stubborn and rebellious in my own ways, and I want to go off path versus sticking to it when I know that I can make time to do the things that I want. Like if I want a cigar, if I want to eat, like just go all out on a big meal or something like that. Like I can earn those moments, but at times I'll, in the middle of the day, like take from myself and my goals in that. And I brought this up because you talked about like doing that work, and what I'm getting to is it felt like I didn't feel worthy enough to have that body, so I would go backwards to go build back my old body, so I felt safe and comfortable.
Yeah, of course.
Because on the other side of the discipline was uncomfortable, and so that's
it's
what
familiarity, though, right?
Right.
It's that story, because what this all is a rewiring
Right.
of situations,
Right.
and eventually, when you're gonna get to a point with it where you're gonna make a different choice than
Right.
the cookies, right? Like I used to go to a candy aisle and stack up.
right,
Now, like, it's easier for me when I go. I might have the intention to grab
Right.
like licorice, but I'll usually grab pistachios or almonds.
Right.
And it's a natural choice now. It's not like a thought. Like, it's not like a weighing or a balance.
Right.
Do I have moments where I eat Reese's? Yeah, I've got a 3-year-old,
Mm,
right?
mm.
Like he's a baby. He's got to have sweets. And sometimes like I have to look at that and what I'm handing down, but it's just a rewiring. That's what I think people understand. Like, this is a lifelong conversation.
Right,
And we get so stuck in the moments, and we got to remember, like, you got your whole life
100%.
to work on this.
100%.
And so, like, just remember that. Like, if you're doing more right than you are wrong,
Right,
then just focus on that.
right. No, that's a good point. It's almost like just instead of focusing on the bad of what could happen, it's focusing on the good parts of it as well. Like, because when you sit down and have a Reese's peanut butter cup, I say that because I love the peanut butter and the chocolate mixed together. You're getting family time. You're bonding, and like, what's more important, like the whip. So I wonder for myself sometimes, like, where does that rebellious come from, and like resistance toward things, like in discipline. But at the same time, maybe it was too much for me one way or the other as a kid, and now I'm putting extra pressure on it in a way. But at the same time, there could be like me just needing to loosen up, like in the moment where I feel like I want to like drive hardcore and discipline or shape the direction of our family, like, and not be too serious about it, and focus on like, dang, she's smiling right now.
Mm-hmm.
My kids are happy with me, and we're also gonna go do something. We're gonna go take a walk or something after, and make that fun too. So that way, the time eating the Reese's Pieces stuck on that, but
we're
it's
all
fun,
giant
right.
kids, right?
Right.
We're all giant kids, so we
Right.
stick with familiarity.
Right.
And we're learning to be adults.
Right.
And we have to remember that we're raising kids and still trying to defeat the kids that's in us, and be like, okay, I can't
Right.
do this. And now, like, I got this behavior. What did I learn this
Right.
behavior? And am I handing down this behavior, or am I correcting the behavior? So when they're older, because, you want your kids to be better than you. That's the whole point.
Right. That's a good point, though, that, like, I didn't think about it like that. I've used this picture of myself as, like, a 2-3-year-old that, like, I'm smiling. I got this mullet. Like, it's just, it reminds me to take care of myself, right? But based off our conversation right now, what I'm seeing, too, to add to that is, like, look how happy I am and joyful. Like, do I need to put that much pressure on that kid right now? And that goes to, like, it's maybe that discipline that I'm pushing into the kids, or like at least trying to enforce, is like, I got to look at me too. Like, would I do that to that boy, with that picture and that smile? Like, no, I would let him live, like he's got the rest of his life to figure this shit out, and he's going to.
All kids have is the moment.
Right.
I mean, that's one of the cool things about having the aspect to kids, because you and I are thinking about the story and all this work, but a kid is just being a kid in
Right.
the moment. They don't know about, depending on age, they
Right.
figure it out. But like, my kid doesn't. He's still trying to figure out what today and tomorrow is.
Right.
We're just having fun in the moment.
Right.
And it's like, sometimes I have to remind myself of that. I'm like,
Right.
okay, in this moment, because like sometimes I get overrun with anxiety,
Right.
or there's a lot that comes with life, and I have to
Right.
tell myself, like, you know, I'm with my kid. I'm like, okay, well, I'm good in the moment,
Right.
and by being good in the moment, like my choices today are going to affect my tomorrow,
Right.
and I don't want to carry this feeling into tomorrow.
That's a good point.
And so I look at it, and I'm just like, okay, well, how can I reframe this? You know, what am I missing? Like, dude, like today, like stressed on getting here on time, right?
Right.
It actually really helped me have a breakthrough with my fitness.
Right.
Because I've been doing something and I've been overexerting a certain, like I do those cardio days.
Yeah.
I really overexert on some stuff. So today I had to be here at a certain time and I had to reframe my workout. And it actually had like an epiphany with it. Because I was
Right.
like, oh, I'm actually going to try a little bit less weight and more intensity and cut down on my rest time. Because I've been losing a lot of time in that area and I'm
Right.
starting to have some plateaus. And
Right.
I'm like, what am I missing? And today I had the situation where, you know, to get here on time, I
Right.
had to restructure it. And I'm like, I really enjoyed that right now.
Right.
I'm gonna put this aspect in and cut down on some other areas and increase my intensity because I got a lot out of today
Right.
that I've been missing that I'm trying to figure out for the last few months.
Right.
So you never know like what situation is just your teacher to be. It's just a teacher in the moment, right?
Right.
Instead of being like resentful that I gotta be here, that I
Yeah,
made
yeah, yeah.
that I made this commitment, that I don't even know what this is about. I don't want to, you know, like I don't. People don't even like me. What am I gonna come on here and say, right? Like Jesus, but it's like no, man. Like just go with the flow. You got the invitation,
Yeah.
and you know taking whatever structure or hectic morning I had because of whatever my scheduling was. But I had like a breakthrough with my workout today, and I was like, I'm actually immensely grateful. Because I got here on time and I knocked out a really good workout and I had something that I've been looking for a while finally happen. Broke a good sweat today.
Right. It's a trip how like pressure creates diamonds in a way, and you never know like when you're gonna get it. Like you think that again, going back to like I'm gonna let go of the discipline concept in a minute, but I think like holding the line of like time blocking shit and tightening it up, like how can I be the most efficient with my life, and then doing it. Like I feel like as a man it can be hard to, how do I want to say this without like it can be hard to be urgent, like really value, because like dude, I spent 6 years in high school. I went to 9 different high schools. Like my urgency wasn't there that I had to knock this out. You know what I mean? It was that I had time. So I stretched it out. Like, granted, deep down inside, I felt like I was going to have to grow up and do the same shit over and over, which happened.
What teenage? You can't even get a teenager to bring dishes from their room, right? There's no urgency until it's all stacked up. And now there's this feeling of, like, guilt, but then you get the freedom of bringing it in. But you know, for me, discipline was not a good word.
Right.
I didn't like discipline. Like it didn't go well for me with discipline when I was younger. I hate that word gets put with stand in the corner.
Right.
Because that's not at all what it is.
Right.
Like, discipline is freedom.
Right.
I mean, it is complete expression.
Right.
You know, because discipline is yours. It's
Right.
something you worked for.
100%.
Something nobody can take from you. Like when I look at stuff that I've done, I'm like, man, you did that.
Right.
Nobody can take it, but it came from like developing a discipline unintentionally.
Right.
And it took maybe a decade to do it.
It's a trip that this conversation's taking a turn into this realm as well, because now like switching the whole concept, like I felt guilt earlier in the conversation, right? Like talking about with my kid and kind of stuff that's weighing on my chest with the word discipline and certain things. But now it's also looking back at that kid version of me as a 2-3-year-old and looking at it as like, damn, you know how I know I love you and I care for you? Because I take care of myself.
Yeah.
I do the shit that I say that I'm gonna do. Like I show up to my shit on time, to prepare it, to plan it, to like, if I didn't care, I wouldn't do it.
Do you have a daughter or a boy?
I have 2 daughters. They're right there. I have 2 daughters.
So you know, this is the like you gotta understand, like you're their familiarity, right?
Right.
So you have to understand, like they love their daddy.
Right.
So when they start dating, you know, they're gonna look for that familiarity.
Yeah.
So it's like what you're teaching them is what they're gonna get. You can say all the things like all the time, but they're gonna see through that. They're gonna look at like, no, my dad showed up,
Right.
and then they're gonna have that expectation on whatever gentleman's in their life, like
Right.
what they're gonna put up with and not put up with,
Right.
because it comes through this subconscious hardwiring that they're going through
Damn.
up until a certain age. Like,
Right.
it gets into it. Like I've had conversations. I'm like with an ex. I'm like, oh, everything you hate about my mom or my sister is what I saw in you.
Right.
So it's like, you got to understand that we got to change this a little bit, because you know, whenever you realize it, and you hope you don't realize it too late. But we have to remember, like, our kids are going to look for what they know, what they grew up with. So that's the expectation. You can tell her she's beautiful and the man's going to open the door for you. That's a surface level.
Right.
They're going to look at, like, no, this is what a man is to me, right? This is my expectations now. And it's a little bit heavy on us to weigh on that when we think about it. But, like, we're wiring in them who they're going to be. So either the sins of the parents fall on the heads of the children, or we recognize, like, okay, you're going to have freedom in this area because, you know, daddy's showing up for him. So it's a whole oxygen mask thing, right?
Right.
If you're on a plane and oxygen mask drops, you don't have time to put it on your child. You have to put it on first.
Right.
So if you show your child, you know, good diet, good physical fitness, good work structure, good discipline, then it's going to be easier for them than if you're, you know, not doing it, telling them they have to go to school.
Right.
It's completely different between words and, like, what they actually see. And that's the hard thing about having kids, because they call us out. Right. Like, I could say something to my 3-year-old and he'd be like, no, daddy's lying.
Right.
I'm like, man, like, there's not, like, you know, when you're in the grocery store in line and you say something
you try to
and
sell
your
yourself
kid,
or some
yeah,
shit.
and your kid just is like, no, like, my dad doesn't do that. And you're like, all right, man, I'm trying to feed us right now. Can you please be quiet so I can pay for your school next month? Like, I need you on board. I need you to be a good, but they're so freaking authentic.
100%.
And that's, like, the thing that we get confronted with, because it's like, all right, like, this is my kid's a byproduct of me. So when he's being a jerk, probably learned it from me.
100%.
And I've been told by people that I can be a jerk. And it's like, that's the self-awareness that sucks.
It's weird too, though. Like, it depends on the meaning of the word and what you actually mean by a jerk. Because sometimes, like, being straightforward and cutting through it could be looked at like, that dude's a fucking asshole or he's a jerk. But really,
yeah, I'm
it's
very
like,
guilty of that.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, shit, like, that's why our fucking energies connect to each other, because it's very similar, and everything that you say, I almost, like, dislike the conversation sometimes too, because they weigh so heavy on me, talking about kids and your word and commitment, and it's like, fuck, that's scary to know that they're gonna marry someone like me, possibly, or be attracted to people like me, because I look myself in the mirror and I'm like, fucking asshole, get your shit together sometimes. And at the same time, I get proud of myself. And
the biggest gift to my kid is I really suffered from imposter syndrome for a long time. Like, I used to get checks for, like, still get nice checks, but I get checks for a big amount.
Right.
And I'd be like, do they know who I am?
Right.
You know, I don't think they know that I don't deserve this amount of money.
Right.
And then my actions would get into that, right?
Right.
Having a kid is like, you can go from imposter syndrome to have to syndrome.
Right.
Like, it's not about, like, I have to do it now. I have to show up. Like, I have to feed this child. Right. He didn't ask to be here. Like, I want my kid to go and have a nice life.
Right.
And that requires some things on my end. And it's like, now I have to show up. I have to do things I don't want to do. I got to be more careful about the clients I take. Like, you know, I'm not going to take a bad client because I don't want to lose 5 good clients, right? Right. So it's like, you have to be more mindful now, because I have this thing or this person that, you know, is going to grow up. Right. You know, and I'm going to have to take accountability. Either, you know, I'm going to be talking to a judge or I'm going to be talking to, you know, a doctor. Right. You know, and it's crazy to think, like, because before my kid, I was just wild. I was a wild guy.
That's fucking that's deep, dude, with like parents in essence, right? Because we only have the moment of what that feeling looks like looking down. But at the same time, like, as you're going through your shit and your stair levels of life that you're, like, whether it's rough or not, like, your parents probably feel a certain way, too. That it's, like, a reflection of them. They hold it on, like, fuck, did I do a good job? Like, what's the best, like, result that they get that if they did a good job as a parent? Well, look at you. And, like, when you're, like, my mom called me this morning, and she was like, she talked about my nephew. Like, he got his 3rd offer for a football scholarship. And then she talked about me, which was like, it sounded like 2 things that she was proud of in the moment. And I was like, that's cool, dude. Like, as much as I'm like, fuck, mom, I gotta go. But at the same time, like, for her to be soaking in that moment was like, that's cool, man. That's cool. And I gave her flowers is the best way that I could on saying, like, good job, because I kind of felt where it was coming from. And I said, good job that for all of your hard work and just staying in a growth mindset to get better. Mm-hmm. And without getting into details and all the shit we didn't do or didn't have and all that, it was just
I mean, your parents would live in a
Right.
shack for you to live in an apartment.
100%.
Right, like
100%.
it's just natural.
Right.
You just love this being more
Right.
than you honestly love your. Like I would say before my kid, any girl that I told I loved before my kid, I gotta call them and tell them I lied.
Right.
Because once I have my kid, I'm like, oh man, this is love. Like I don't even look at my dogs the same. Like, I
Right.
love them. I thought I loved them, but
Right.
now you got this kid. And it's like I think about him all day.
Right.
Like sometimes I think about my I'm surprised I'm not doing it now, but I'll think about my kid a lot and cry.
Right.
You know, because I'm just like he's only like this 3-year-old little monster. He doesn't,
Right.
you know, I don't even know what I'm
Right.
crying about, but I
Right.
just like love him with
Right.
every ounce of my being, and it's just giving me such an opportunity to love myself. But the guilt is there, obviously. But I love myself so much now because like I just have this like person that is just so freaking cool to be with.
That's fucking beautiful, dude. I've done this exercise one time where it was like imagining, like you holding your kid and you telling me love them and stuff like that. Like you're using your imagination, but then you replace your kid and you put yourself in that spot, and you're like looking down at yourself and just telling yourself that you love yourself and like whatever it is that you're gonna say to yourself, like as a baby, which is like almost the same feeling, right? Do you see a version of you in that kid and you're like, damn, look how pure, look how fun, look how happy. And like it's the other side of like all the shit you've been through in your life, like the struggle, that life doesn't have to be like that. Even though you did it and you thought about it all the time, like life fucking sucks
Well,
sometimes.
you can look back at that high school kid that you have that conversation with, and you can high five him now.
Yeah.
You know, I can look back at 12-year-old Joey and hug that guy now.
Yeah.
Give him the hug that he was looking for.
Let's go.
It's like it's that's the thing is like you think you're giving this kid something. This kid's giving you. He's healing you. Like,
Right.
my kid has healed me.
Damn.
Like he is healing a version and a side of me that I didn't know, and that I was struggling with, and that I went through some deep places to bury and not be that person.
Right.
And instead, I had this kid, and now I get to hug that version and be like, you know, like, man, I understand what it's like to not have someone be there for you. I
Right.
understand, like, there were some situations that just no kid should be through.
Right.
And, you know, my kid's not going to go through that.
Right.
He's just not going to go through that because
Right.
I've been through that.
Right.
And it's just like, nah, like, I'm gonna make good decisions today.
Right.
And I've had to make some really difficult decisions just in the last 3 years
Right.
to be a better businessman,
Right.
to stay more disciplined in my nutrition, to
Right.
stay on my fit, to stay like in all these areas because it's what I gotta do now.
Right.
I can either be selfish or I can be selfless.
Right. And selfless at the end of the day feels better too.
So much
Like
better.
isn't that
There's
a-
there's not as much guilt.
Right.
There's not as much guilt when you look back and you're like, oh man, like, did I really need to buy that over feeding my kid?
Right.
You know, I mean, not to be that dramatic, but that's kind of the guilt. You're just like, oh man, like I chose myself in a moment and took something from him. And it's-
Fucking shit. Ladies and gentlemen, like this is what I'm talking about. The fire that comes, like he talked about, like he doesn't know what the fuck he's gonna talk about, but this right here, bro, is powerful to
I
me. I get to
appreciate
see it like super deep and I get to feel it like it feels connected because you're talking about your life and how you see it, and then I get to see it a version for me, and like you sharing that on just where you're at right now, it fucking goes into my soul. And from there, like I get to make choices just like every day on what the hell I'm gonna do. And I think it's just constant pivoting, constantly adjusting, and it's no same week, year. Like
No.
every year's fucking different, man.
every like, but the thing is, like, it's so funny when people ask you how you're doing.
Right.
You have this whole opportunity in that second to either say, I don't know, I'll get back to you, or like say, you know what, I'm gonna go with that I'm doing good.
Right.
You know, and maybe like you had a bad phone call.
Right.
And it's like, you know, I don't want to carry that phone call with me anymore.
Right.
Like somebody asked me how I'm doing, and I get to reframe it and recreate it now because like, you know, when I first walked in the building, that's over.
Right.
Right. And all we have right now is
Right.
the energy that we're trading. It's pretty good. Like, because
Right.
the person that walked in here was like, you know, not was exactly excited about this.
Right. Right.
Right. And now I'm like, oh yeah, this is nice.
Right.
Now I'm excited. Right.
I can see it. We can feel it. Like all of it. Like there's nobody live on here. I don't know why I said we, but I'm experiencing it right now. It's a beautiful thing, and I think part of like I noticed I missed your call at 9, and what like then I gotta look back and like, what if that was part of the plan? Like
It was totally part. Like I
like
wouldn't have had the
there-
workout that I had today had you answered that call because I was looking
100%.
for excuses to
and
push this. I mean, obviously you can see how I scheduled it. I was intimidated by this because I was like, you know, there's things that you don't want to do, so you try to like squid me. I'm like, well, how can I control this? And
it's a good point to talk about, I believe, though, because you look at a person and like I'm vulnerable as shit. Like I share it as I feel it, as I see it, because it helps me. It helps me get to my next place to where I need to be in my life. And this conversation of like people can look at a certain picture or a certain like and think what they want about it. But at the same time, like it's a deep question when you say how you're doing. Like I'm doing good and I say like I'm doing very well in yourself, but like even though I did 10, 15 hard things, especially like the morning shit, you know what it feels like, the workout, like the pain in that, like the mental aspect of it, like all that shit's hard, but that's why we do it. So that way, the moment you ask me how I'm doing, it's like, man, I actually did a bunch of hard shit already all week, all year, all my whole life, then I'm doing good when I say that. And it's a trip because sometimes people will ask you like how you're doing, but then they're like, well, how you really doing? Like kind of fishing, but like I'm doing good. Like I'm really doing good. Like the way that I look at it.
but people can pick up on that though.
Right.
And you know the thing is, people are gonna tell you how you're doing.
Right.
Like
That's weird too. Yeah.
People will tell you how you're doing without you having to ask most of the time. Like the whole thing about like you look at someone and you make up a meaning. Like I hear a lot that like, oh, like that I'm an asshole, and I'm like, I've never even talked to the person. Like I've never in my life, and like why that we're just meaning making machines. So you see someone, and you're like, oh, well, that person is this, that, and the other, and then you talk to them, and you're like, yeah, man, like, you know, they're like, oh, they were privileged, and it's like, yeah, man, I lived most of my time in foster care and group homes, and I sold my first house off the Suntran bus. Like, they wouldn't know that, but they would just think, like, oh, looking at you, that everything was given to you, and you have all this, and you're like, yeah, like, that sounds great.
You fucking...
I miss that part of the story, but that would have been, I wish I was that person. Because I can only be me, and it's so hard because people have this expectation of me, and I'm like, I don't honestly always know who I am.
Dude, that was deep how you said we're meaning-making machines. Like, we're just fucking making meaning of the world based off the moment that we're in.
And you do that since you're a kid. That's 100%. Like with my kid all the time. Like, you know, they're just trying to figure it out and playing. Like the other night, I couldn't get my kid to sleep, so I was like, we're gonna call the sleep police. And he took his little car and he put it in front of the door. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh my God, he's blocking so the police couldn't. The police can't come. And then I'm like, as cute as it is, I was like, am I traumatizing my child right now? Because I'm like, because he's trying to make meaning of everything, and now he's thinking, well, if I don't go to sleep, like I'm gonna go like this whole thing. And as cute as it is, I'm like, for him, this is actually really real because he's trying to understand the world right now. So I have to be a little bit more intentional on how I direct him because that's all we're all trying to do every day is make meaning of the life. What's the big question that everybody has? What's the meaning of life?
Dude, words are so powerful. I think reframing on like, all right, how can I use my words right now to get the point across, the meaning across so that person doesn't have room to interpret, right? Like if I'm trying to be clear and direct to a person, like how can I use my words right now so that way they just pick up what I'm putting down and everything be cool, right? Without them needing to dig any deeper than that. And it's like talking to the kids, like how can I just shoot for the throw or something, like get the meaning across right now without circling the landing. Or
body language is a lot too, right? Because you give that kid the stare, right? If they're doing something,
and I'm fucking
they all of a sudden have a different conversation and they're like, hey, if you don't quit doing that, we're gonna leave. They're like, okay, they're gonna keep testing it, but if they're like, they, you know, so it's a lot of times when you're talking to people about how your communication is with your body language with people, right? Like. People are asking, like, hey, what's up? Or, hey, what's up? You know? Like, it can go two different ways. 100%. And if you're naive to it and in the wrong area, your whole day might change.
100%. 100%. And it's a trip that, like, it's such a blessing, like, where you're at, where I'm at, as far as, like, those kind of, like, street confrontations and shit like that. Like, they're so detrimental to, A, what we just said we love the most, which was our kids. And, B, like, we have no room. Like, if more felonies, like, in our professional career hit, like, they pull a license and you're done. Like, so you're giving up a career, you're giving up your opportunity to raise your kid. Like I think about that every time I just get like
In the car, driving.
frustrated. Like I know that like I just want to
driving in the car and someone cuts you off, and you're just willing to risk it all.
Right.
You're just like, how dare this guy not use his blinker? And you don't use it. Like you would. It's so funny because I think of like little priests or these sweet little old ladies, and you're like, no, you see their real side. Like Granny will give you the finger, if but it's just like in that moment, you just kind of find out who you are, and it's like, God, I would have like lost everything right now, and I have had people that I know that have lost their lives because they misinterpreted a moment and took it too far.
That's fucking deep. Not to take it too far, or even just like how to not take it personal at all. Like
just don't take anything personal. Like not even compliments.
Right.
Just everything, good, bad, or the other. Like just let it go.
Right.
Like letting go is co-parenting has taught me a lot.
Right.
Like let it go.
Right.
And there's so many areas in life now where I just let it go.
Right.
Good, bad, or the other. Because sometimes people will tell me I'm doing great, but a lot of times I can tell. Like a lot of times people are talking to me and they're telling me this, but I'm like, this person doesn't even like me.
Right.
They're just going through the motions of talking to me right now because their actions are speaking differently. So it's just a matter of just like letting everything go.
Right. I think that's important. And my definition of like, if that's ever come off my chest of like, hey man, like you're doing great or good, like what I'm talking about is listening to you talk, like seeing the way your meaning making machine is making meaning right now of how shit works. Like that is a definition of like, all right, that's a mindset that's gonna work. Like that right there is wealth.
Well, I believe you because I'm here.
Right, 100%.
Right, I believe you because I'm here. I don't think you would have me, out in public or talk to people 100%. That are in your circle if you're like, I might not be able to get some loans because I had this guy on, right? Versus like, hey, like how can we share this in the community? You're like the things you said, like you look at people and you want to be around people that have things that you don't have, and you want to learn how they got it. So it is good to be around people wealthier than you. It is good around people more physically fit than you.
Right.
Or if you're around people poorer than you or not in the shape that you want to be in, then, are you looking for excuses to stay in that area? Or are you looking for people that are going to challenge you in the other areas? Like, not a lot of people want to come work out with me.
100%.
And sometimes it hurts my feelings. But then I'm just like, well, they're not there, right? And I have to remember, like, how long and what it took. Like, I never thought I would run over a mile. If you would have asked me at like 29 or 30 to run with you, I would have deleted your number. Yeah. Right? It wasn't even a possibility. And now it's like, it's just kind of what I do now.
Which, speaking of his workout, man, like we did a cardio day and those sprints on the treadmill, moving right into like kettlebells, like, and mind you, like not light kettlebells, like this was work, and I appreciated it after. And I had some shit going on too, where like I think I was crying about my shoulders or something like that. Like there was stuff going on in my head, but like after we got done, I felt better, like regardless of the result of it. And it was like you pushing and getting your shit done, which forced me to level up and get my shit done, which is exactly what you're talking about. Like you surround yourself with the people that like they're gonna just go do what they're good at, and if you're in that sphere, if you've got attracted into that sphere, then it's because you're supposed to be there. And I think that's where you can throw out all that imposter shit and everything, and you just start to level up.
Oh yeah, you just start to level up. You can't fake that. Yeah. Right? Like I see the workouts you do now, and I'm like, I can't do that. Like I see the stuff you're doing, and I'm like, I can't do that. Yep. But I know that's just not something that I can do. I'm not designed to do that. Right. But I like to see that you do it. Right. And I'm like, that's what's up. I don't take offense to that. We just did it that one time, maybe a little bit. Right. But I'm just saying, like, it's nice to see what you do now, because it's like, all right, like he's sticking with. I mean, I see your workouts now, and I'm like, man, that's pretty impressive. I saw what you squatted yesterday, and I was like, is he really gonna get the depth? I was like, am I gonna be an internet troll right now? Yeah, I'm glad you waited. You got the depth, and I'm like, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I can lift that type of weight. So it's like, it's just, you just see the differences in people. I'm like, wow, like that person's come a long way. Right.
Thank you for that, because that is it took a lot to. Because you're talking about, like, back pain in your 30s and shit like that. Like, I'm 36 now, so, like, in the beginning of my 30s, I started to experience, like, I think it was, like, had to do something with, like, my ego, and, like, I couldn't let go of it. Like, I was working out in a strictly powerlifting gym at the time. Like, it wasn't CrossFit. Like, it was straight like heavy lifters with those titanium looking plates, like the skinny ones that are just straight heavy. So I was putting up weight and constantly getting hurt.
Yeah.
And like it's almost like I was just like dragging myself through the mud because I didn't want to let go of that. And like that's even how we started this conversation of like you can have both. You can be like healthy and trim at the same time.
There's a lot of doctors that are staying in business because of this mindset.
Right, 100%.
You know, a lot of people are like, well, I'm this age now. I should be, and it's like, all right, like, should you have been doing that?
Yeah.
You know, you
Right.
gotta change and you gotta learn to grow, but the strength is still there.
Right.
It's just now you gotta do it right. So,
Right.
you know, like I would say my back pain came from stuff that I was probably doing at the gym.
Right.
Like, I don't deadlift no more.
Right.
I won't touch it. I'll do straight-legged deadlifts, but I
Right.
won't touch deadlifts. And
Right.
for a lot of people, deadlifts are it.
Right.
And I have to recognize, like, that is not something I want to do
Right.
because I just know what comes with it, right?
I think that's important too, like knowing your limits and your boundaries and shit
having
within
having your boundaries with people is
right.
hard, right?
Right. And
Because the people are always going to question. Like, I'm one of those people, too. I'm like, oh, you don't do this? That's funny. I was just going over there right now to do that. You sure you don't want to come? It's just because you're just, I don't know what it is about it, but just when you have that thing where you're like, no, I don't do that. And then you got to stand in it.
right. Especially when it comes to like working out and shit too. Like if we're sitting in the same spot and then I'm deadlifting or something, and then like there's this weird feeling that you got to do it too, or something that could come. Like I know that I've fallen into shit that I shouldn't be around. You know what I mean? In many ways of all of my life. And at the same time, like just holding firm to like, nah, it's not good for me. Like, is it gonna, like, out of all this we've talked about so far, I think it falls into like finding regulators or like the warning signs of you got to make a decision right now.
Because your gut knows.
Right.
Like, you feel it before. Like, you're like, that little antsy, and you're like, I shouldn't. And, you know, it's like, you got to learn to, like, listen to yourself.
Right.
Because if you don't listen to yourself, how are you going to protect yourself?
Right. And a weird, like, how to distinguish, too, like, because your excitement, fear, like, it can get confusing sometimes because it's this weird-ass, like, the butterflies in your tummy, right? Like, that concept. But at the same time, like, if you feel a certain way about coming here is different from if you feel a certain way that kind of still feels weird, but it's about a deadlift that we're about to do. Or something like that. They're two different things.
Yeah,
and like
there's
being
that.
able
There's
to,
that level up growth, like Dr. Huberman talks about
Right.
that. Like, you know, how that you help that area of your brain grow
Right.
by doing challenging things or doing things you don't want to do.
Right.
That's a different area.
Right.
Like, that's confronting things and growing and getting
Right.
past it. Because there's a lot of times and you're just like, but then you do it and you're like, it was harder to do it than it was to actually do it.
Right.
And then there's the other things where your body's like, we're going to get hurt right now. And
Right.
if you're not going to protect me, I'm not going to. I look at my body as like this rented thing. I
Right.
look at it's two different. I look at myself and my body as two different things.
Right.
It's like, if it's telling me that I shouldn't do this and I do it, how can I expect it to keep me healthy?
That's why I've been also like posting these, like the squat too, because I've also squatted like in the 400s before, and
Jesus.
I've also bench pressed like 315 today. I put max on the end of it at 245 or something like that, and like that was it for me. And also I was
that
like,
was it for me.
I was
It's like,
okay
that's
with that,
crazy
dude.
weight, bro.
But still, like for you saying that makes like it helps me see that like it truly is on the ego side of like me not feeling like I'm like was at that other place, but also the other place didn't bring good memories for me because of the way I felt, the way I slept, the way I like what I was eating, like all those things were a bad spiral. And like what I feel now and being okay with 245 and being okay with 346 or whatever it was, like those
Bro,
are
that's insane. Like, and
Yeah.
you got to think from other perspectives.
Right.
I don't like 245 is insane.
yeah, that's
That's insane to be putting up. Like, that's a crazy number.
yeah, it's so fucking.
And
it's
people
weird
might
to
tell you
receive that.
different,
Yeah,
but a lot
yeah.
of people who tell you, I don't even know if they, like, you see people troll on the internet.
Right.
And it's like, you don't look like someone who could even lift 95.
Right.
But everybody has an opinion, and then we
Right.
let that get. Ego is not your amigo, right?
Let's go.
It's not.
I fucking love it.
You go to,
Yeah.
like, if you go to your head, it's a dark place. Don't go
Right.
there, you'll get robbed, right?
Right.
Stay in the moment, stay to like what feels natural, because you know there's a cost to pay for everything.
Right, dude, and it's late in the game to be paying heavy prices, especially
I
with your
can't
body.
I can't
Yeah.
even picture. Like, I'm so wary about things that I
Right.
do now. Like I see people do stuff. I'm like, yeah, I want to go skydiving, but I don't want to break my leg.
Right.
I know I've broken a lot of bones. I know
Right.
it comes with that.
Right.
It's not like what I'm willing to do right now. So it's like I have to structure. You know, there's a lot of stuff that people do that I can't do.
Right.
You know, and it's just like,
I think being okay with that, being humble with like, fuck, I'm not gonna do that, and it's fine, and
Yeah.
move on, and not like, I think like in the men culture too, especially in the gym world or whatever, like people like to throw it around like you're being a bitch or like like.
and maybe
there's-
you are. Whatever. You know,
Let's
maybe
go.
you are.
That is a definite. Did you see what he just did right there? He did not take it personal in any way, shape, or form. It's like whatever, and moved on.
Yeah, but you know, I gotta live with myself. I'm always like, you know, I gotta deal with myself at the end of the day. You know,
Right.
you know, I'm the one that has to deal with
Right.
what I do.
Right.
And it's hard to do that. Like I think a lot of life is learning to let go and move on and kind of recognize like, okay, this is what I can and can't do, and this is what I'm willing to do.
Right.
Maybe I could do it, but that's not
Right.
really what I'm willing to do because I don't enjoy it.
That's a trip, dude. That's a trip. And at the end of the day, like nobody's gonna be there for you. Like when your fucking back's hurt and you're in a like, who's gonna take care
I
of
can
you?
tell you they're not.
Are you gonna?
I can
like,
tell you
yeah.
very much they're not. You're
100%.
you're the one that's dealt with the loss
Yes,
and the
right.
rebuild. And, you know, because it's like when you're dealing with something like that, it's like a shark bite that no one sees.
Right.
And it's hard to get sympathy. And people
Right.
don't, you know, you don't want sympathy, but people don't always want to be, oh.
Right.
You don't want to hear that. Like when you're telling someone like, oh, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's not what I wanted to hear. That's not. I don't.
Yeah.
That's not where I'm going. But thank
Yeah.
you. Like I don't want to be. It's just that's one that gets me when people are like, oh, I'm sorry, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, did you do it?
Yeah.
Did you hurt my back?
No.
No.
That's a trip too. Like I do that when I bring up like my dad passed away 5 years ago, and sometimes I'll bring that up like I did now.
Yeah, and
and
I have
some
that action-
motherfucker right now.
that I
wants to
almost
tell
did
me,
it.
You almost
I
did it. Like,
I almost
with you.
did it.
Sorry,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
but
but I
the
didn't
same-
do it.
Like same thing as part of my journey. That shit, like if anything, like helped me build to be stronger, like emotionally, physically. Like I got to release and let go of a bunch of shit with him. Like it has helped shape me to be who I am right now.
I went through that with my niece when she had brain cancer.
Uh-huh.
I can't tell you how many people knew what I was going through, and my sister was going through. And it's like, I pray to God you don't.
Right.
Just watch an 18-year-old girl lose her life in the
Right.
most horrific way.
Right.
And you know, there's a difference between my condolences, because
Right.
I do understand that that's terrible. Like,
Right.
you know, I have a father. I'm a father.
Right.
So I think there's that different thing. But then when people are like, they somehow put themselves in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I don't want you to know what this is like.
Right.
Or I pray you don't. I
Right.
pray you never lose a child. I pray I never lose a child.
Right.
You know, it's terrible what you had to go through.
Right. So instead of like just almost a reminder, just be grateful for what the hell you have right now. Like soak in and have gratitude for every moment that you have right now. And be okay with that. Don't need to go see what it's like to feel that or experience it. Just trust me and just be grateful for what you have and enjoy it.
I think condolences are different.
Yeah.
I think like having giving you my condolences is different because you really do have my condolences.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, thank you.
But at the same time, you know, when you care about people, you love them, and you don't want anybody to know that.
Right.
But to hear that, oh,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, all right. Well, I didn't really need that. Thank you though.
Yeah, you know what my area is like if I'm gonna walk a trench with you, like I'd rather be in the gym with you and like just keep learning your mindset where you're at. Push by me pushing and not letting off the gas, because it's almost like, all right, if you're starting to back up, that means I got to step up, and that means like we're going to pull like this. Or some shit happens in my life, I start to back up, you got to step up. It's like it's going to force you. I know you don't want to be this fucking person, but you have to right now because we got to do it
I
together.
was running in Reed Park a few years ago, and I was like, I'm such a fast fuck. I was like so in my ego, and this guy ran past me.
Uh-huh.
And I like was crushed.
Damn.
Right? And he got a little bit ahead, and so I was like, nah.
Right.
I was like, no. So I picked up my pace
Right.
and ran by him, and I gave him a thumbs up. And me and this dude, I don't even know him, we got into a full-on race. We
Right.
ran 3 miles against each
Let's
other.
go.
Like, we got into a full-on race, and then we got to the parking lot, and we just both went our separate ways.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I just ran a 6:50 mile.
Let's go.
You know, and normally
weird, yeah.
it would be a lot more
Right.
than that. And I was like, that guy just,
Right.
we just inadvertently pushed each other.
Right.
And my ego got, you know, I learned about my ego.
Right.
But then I was like, no, I'm gonna see what I can do here.
Right.
And it was a full on race.
That's almost like a reminder too of like sometimes when you're going through some shit, like you're also in some good shit too. That like you're doing some of your best work to build. It's gonna be perspective on how you're looking at it from that point. Like, and just finding the good in it. Like for you to tell that story now is like, damn, like it's crazy that you got into that, but then B, like it also forced you to level up in the moment.
It was fun.
Right, by doing that, exactly.
It was a good time.
It wasn't dangerous, like you were running. Like
Yeah.
no one's gonna eat you. Like you're fine, you're safe.
And
like,
my ego got checked.
right.
It was so fun because that
Fucking
it
angel
was
came
like
down,
in that
yeah.
exact moment. I was like, man, I'm so fast.
Yeah.
And this guy just passed me, and I was like, well, that hurt.
Yeah, it's crazy too. Like on the spot too. Like
Yeah.
what a gift to get. It's almost like when your dog, pisses on the carpet or something like that, and then a week later you want to like discipline him. Like that was a moment of shit came up. You started to feel a certain way, and you got discipline in the spot, like of how that's gonna be. So that way you can dial back that down. Because what if that pattern just led to more fucking ego that comes out?
Oh,
Versus.
I mean, yeah, come on.
Yep.
I mean, ego is
Right.
That's what we're built off of,
That's a trick.
right? Like it's confidence and ego are a very different thing to
Right.
differentiate, right?
Right.
Like having a belief in yourself
Right.
and then thinking that you're better than anyone else
Right.
is more different, right? Just saying like I'm confident in this area, but I would say like I'm confident in things that I do with work. Like I know if you hire me, like I'm confident that
Right.
we're gonna do if you listen to me.
Right.
I'm confident,
Right.
versus ego. No,
Right.
I'm the best.
Right.
Like I know there's other great people.
Right.
Like I'm not thinking that I'm best, but I know if you hire me and I tell you in this certain area I can do, I'm gonna do it.
I love that. Yeah.
But it's also just like that's confidence versus ego. Like, no, I'm the best. But then I'm offended. Ego gets you more hurt on why you didn't get the business or why it didn't happen or why you didn't get the girl's number.
Right.
And so confidence is like, well, I went in, I gave it my best, didn't work out. What happened in that area that I can learn from?
Right.
Because it happened for me to learn. I mean, pain is the best teacher. I hate it, but pain is because I've had some monumental success, but I remember the little things the failures.
Right.
I remember the failures more than I remember like the big things. I'm just like, dang, it's all good.
That's good shit. That's good shit. I think that's important too. That like to not get like overly built on the successes, and also like because the failures happen for a reason, right? Like they're truly lessons to learn from, and like you get to use them. So not like you're a piece of shit or anything. Like it just means that like you get to go like where did I fuck up in this transaction or whatever, and how can I fix it for the next time? And
Feedback,
right.
Feedback is
being open to that shit.
it
is a trip.
sucks.
Yeah.
It's not a good time, and it's just you just remember it, and then you can either let it destroy you and never do it again,
Right.
or you can go back at it with a different, more softer approach of trying to understand like, okay, like I got some work to do. I mean, I've sold real estate for 18 years.
Yeah.
And there's so many times where I'm like, damn, I didn't know that.
Right.
I thought I knew that.
Right.
And then you see someone who's doing this well, and you're like, oh, it gets you a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. And you brought up a good point though. Like the same goes for me in the like loan officer world. Like the people that I pour my heart into, like that's where my confidence separates from ego, because there's like I'm not on the top 250 list of production. So there's obviously people that do more and probably can do it better. But at the same time, the people that I have in my sphere that I take care of, like they're all people that we get this energy feeling from it. Like I gave everything in my all, you gave everything of your all, and you got from A to B, and your life's changed and my life's changed. And like those experiences that I get out of it, if I'm sacrificing like the amount of people in that, like I know that the people that I'm blessed with, I get to take care of them. Like that's where if you fall in my sphere and we say, hey, we're going to do this, like I'm fucking committed, you're committed, like then
You're going to get that urgency.
it's whatever it
like
takes.
that thing that you were talking about, like that's the thing like I have with, and it might be a good thing sometimes, it might be a bad thing, but could be intense. I mean, I think for some people it comes off intense, but I approach it with urgency.
Right.
Like I'm like, no, we got to kind of look at this now. How can we handle it now? Because we don't know.
Right.
We don't know what the future holds. The first
100%.
offer is sometimes the best offer.
Right.
Like I've seen people not have that urgency and then wait, and then it's like
That's the truth too. Like when I was buying my house with my wife, the first house that we saw was the house that we picked. I mean, but we also went to go see 5, 6 other houses, but we came back to that one. So it's weird. It's a weird little testament that like we felt like we were gonna do something, but we also wanted to go see what else.
I
was
want
out
things
there.
to feel like a natural decision
Right.
too. Like I don't
Right.
want someone to lay awake. I want people to be like, no, I'm educated. This was the right decision.
No, that's important.
And that's another thing of like trying to get that point across. How do you get across quickly and not feel like people are just being pushed and rushed? Like,
Right.
You know, like, oh, he's just trying to get us into it.
Right.
Versus like, no, I've been in this for a while. I know the patterns. I know the behavior.
Right.
But people have to kind of like, it's their decision.
Right.
It's their decision at the end of the day. It's just learning like, that's that ego and confidence thing. Like,
Right.
If I confidently deliver information and it hits well and you understand that this is the best decision for you because it's your decision.
Right.
It has to be your decision.
Right.
It's not like Sana on the line. This is the best. There's no other, because then it's like it's a turnoff, right?
Right. You know, you're helping them see their goals, and you're bringing it to light.
I just want to bring education to
Right.
anybody I can.
Right.
Education and value.
That's just important, and that's why we're here on this podcast right now. Like the value has been served already. Like we can cut the chase right now, and also the education in life. Like it may not be a book like written out, but it's also like listen to the things that I've been through, and like I'll teach you what to do and what not to do. These things didn't work for me.
Yeah, that's what you're hoping you bring to people's experience, right?
100%.
Like that's it. Like the value is maybe you don't like someone's personality,
Right.
but you can value their experience,
Right.
You know, because I'm not here as a personality contest.
Right.
I'm not trying to win Mr. Arizona.
100%.
You know, I'm
100%.
here to deliver value and my experience of what I've been through.
Right.
That's why I went through it.
It's crazy because at the end of the day, it's like it's what you have. Like that's what you have to bring to the table. Like that's it. There's nothing else. Like I don't get the best looking trophy. I don't get the tall, dark, and handsome trophy. I get like my life, my experiences, and this is how it helped me. This is how it hurt me. However, this is how we can do it for you right now.
And to deliver results, like
Right.
hopefully as quickly as possible.
100%.
Because time is
not
often the
promised.
enemy.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. It's exactly what we were talking about in the beginning. Like finding that urgency, and sometimes you need those slaps in the face for yourself, so that way you can press the urgency on somebody else.
And that's what helps with those decisions when you want to eat the cookie.
Fucking shit.
Right. Like that, because there's urgency in your diet,
Right.
you know, because what you eat today is going to affect you tomorrow
100%.
on everything. And that's such a, everyone says that, right? Like, it's what you do today is going to affect tomorrow.
100%.
So if you're going to eat the cookies, understand that there's consequences tomorrow.
100%.
Like, it's what it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you see why, again and again, why I appreciate Joey's fucking energy and I hate it at the same time? But it's because I know that it is going to help me and not hurt me. Otherwise, like he said, he wouldn't be here. Joey, man, if people wanted to find you for real estate or just anything in general, how could they reach you?
My email is just my name, josephwitzke@gmail.com. My Instagram is soldbywitzke, and my number is 520-808-4585. Again, that's 520-808-4585. Please tell your friends.
Man, he is. He puts his last name. He puts the wit in Witzke. Let me tell you that much, man. He's
No longer the whiskey.
Yeah, not the whiskey. It's the wit. He's got this
Yeah.
brain power that just fires off, and I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you being here.
It was a good time. I really appreciate the invitation.
That's good shit.
The urgency.
A good shit, and we got it done.
Yeah, we got it done.
Not next year, right now.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, get after it.